All right, all right. Hey, hey, welcome back, guys. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the collective message. These lots of times I'll start these out with anecdotes, something real that happened pertaining to my dog. Oh my gosh, Aries was again very hard working little pup yesterday, and so anytime that he's like really exhausted, he gets like ravenously hungry, and normally he's before food time, he'll kind of like want to play a little still, herd me around the house. Oh no, he herded me straight into the kitchen last night and like bonked me in the back of the knee a couple times to like hurry up, get Aries his giant dinner. And all I can say is that perhaps somebody is like, the job well done and they're ready for the next chapter and they're all about it. We got the seeds of love. Seeds of love would be, obviously, we know she's ready for love. Aries was ready for his meal, but she's ready for love. So we have a divine feminine who I almost think that it's like, I followed every step. I did everything I was supposed to. Now this better grow. This needs to grow. This has to grow. This is what comes next. And there's not even like a question about it. There's not even like, I wonder if this will work. This is like the next phase of what's going to happen is, the growth. So I kind of think that I want to say, if you build it, they will come. A little Kevin Costner reference in there. 8 of Pentacles. Wow. We basically have the same card twice in 2 different ways, right? We even have this growing tree of life here. We've got her, I studied, I read, I followed all of the information. Those self-help books told me to work on myself, so I did. I learned how to manifest. I've been putting in, like enough energy in my own life that I should be seeing results. Now, this could be, I know it said seeds of love, but love can be, the love that we have for anything in our life. I love this career. I really want to excel at it. I've worked really hard to, learn all I can so I can be really successful. I mean, we could look at it that way. There's a lot of different ways we could see this, but she is of the opinion that she did, everything that she needed to make this be successful. Ace of Coins. Okay. Today should be my new beginning then. I followed all of the rules, all of the regulations. Now, universe, let me have the new beginning. 6 of Swords. Oh. So one of the things that she really had to do was move on from something that was very painful, something that was, she was listening to the divine. The divine was helping her to heal from something, helping her to move on from something. She's done it. She's learned how to love herself. This is her new beginning. It's about self-love first. Okay, what does that mean, universe? If she's there, she's self-love, and so now she can have a really awesome connection with somebody. We've got the 2 of Cups. She is prepared and ready for a divine counterpart, somebody very beautiful, somebody that would be as healthy as she is. I don't know if this isn't about like an age thing. It's about a life experience thing. And this life experience could have come, for somebody who's much younger. She looks very youthful still, regardless of what age she may be. She comes across as somebody with dark hair or blonde hair, doesn't matter. And by the way, this doesn't have to be a she. This could be a masculine just as well. But we do have so far feminines depicted every time. So that's the only reason I'm going to say she. But just know this could be a masculine, just in their receptive moon energy right now, their feminine energy. This is amazing. It's soft, it's sweet, but it's powerful. She's ready for like a 2 of Cups union. Ace of Cups sideways, because she knows how to give love to herself, but also to give love to another person without depleting her own cup. She knows that a really great relationship is going to add love into her life, and she will share love with them, but it won't be like, because I love you, I now don't love myself at all because I gave it all to you. She's not going to be that person. And she's going to be attracting somebody who's got the same viewpoint, someone who can still, do things that they enjoy. They don't get trapped. As I say that, we have the 8 of Swords. They don't get trapped in that cycle of like, forgetting that they have, their own ideas and needs and wants also. They're not going to live for another person. They're going to live with another person, and be like, together they create a better life. Together they are more, but they complement each other's lives. Why do we have this Eight of Swords? Because I didn't see any blockages. I've only seen her saying, I've grown. I did everything I was supposed to. I've planted the seeds of self-love. I'm ready for an amazing union, one that would be shared. So why do we have the Eight of Swords? Page of Pentacles. If anything, I think she's just realizing the difference between where she was versus where she is. Because this is, the pages are like the fresh, brand new little, spring flowers that pop up, and the pages are our messengers. Once upon a time, it seems like she was very trapped. She was very stuck. I almost feel like this is a feminine who's having a lot of self-reflection right now. Realizing, wow, I was really trapped for a long time, but I'm not anymore. I'm so ready for romance. I'm so ready to offer my heart to somebody. We have the Star. I think that she is going to end up in a relationship that could be, I'm not saying that it has to be with some influential or affluent person or famous person, but I am saying all of that is possible. Whomever her heart falls for, there won't be any inhibitions or fears. There won't be any like, oh, well, you know how I so hate the thing where, people are like, oh, well, that person's a 7 and that person's a 9, and they rank people and give them numerical values on how attractive they are, just by like a photograph or a, vague image or something. That doesn't even apply here. That stupid nonsense doesn't even apply. She knows that there isn't anybody out of her league. She's not going to think about love like that. She's not going to think about herself like that. She's not going to lower herself or imagine that somehow if she fell for someone, whomever they are, wherever they are in the world, in the social strata, there is no limitation on like that insecurity that comes with like that ranking system. She's not going to be looking at that. So she could fall in love with somebody who looks at her like she's, a star, and she can accept that they really love me. They really, think highly of me. I really love them. I really think highly of them. We think of each other as stars, whether we are or aren't. Now, and conversely, it's like she could also end up in a relationship with somebody who's like very, household name, very famous. And again, there's not an intimidation factor there, because it's like, what do you mean? It's what your heart sees. It's not about social strata and all that other stuff. I love the fact that we're breaking boundaries, because it's all about the inner heart now. This whole storyline is about the inner heart. What does that mean? Why are we talking about it like this? Is this what she's headed for? Is there someone at a distance? Is she going to become famous? Are they famous? Is there something here? That Queen of Sacred Circles. This is actually very grounded energy. This is somebody who perhaps is going to be like, wow, I can't believe this. I maybe come from humble beginnings myself, but I'm ending up living in a palace. We have that Four of Wands, which is this is a marriage. She may go from more humble beginnings. It could be like, oh, my family legacy, like we've always lived like in a more earthy environment. We've always been more connected to the earth, even with the squash blossom necklace that she's wearing here. And yet I may end up living in some palatial estates at some point. I don't think she knows this is happening. I think it doesn't matter anymore, because she's not putting a limit on who she could fall in love with, who she could end up with. I think this is a very important component of this, because she might have previously, if she didn't love herself enough to know that you can fall in love with anybody in any social strata at any point in time, she maybe would have fallen into that like silly thing of like, well, that person couldn't find me attractive because they, come from a different world than I do. They have, more money, they have more status than I do, so there's no way they could like little old me. That's not going to factor in, which is good. It's good that she's learned to love herself enough that that won't factor in, because in this storyline, it actually says, first off, whatever skill set she has is going to make her extremely successful in this relationship. Maybe this groundedness, this generosity, this energy of like accepting, life, the pros, the cons, the sweat, blood, tears, boogers, all of it. This earthy energy says somebody stays really grounded. So she's not going to be dazzled or intimidated by money. She also has a good head on her shoulders, and she can handle life, and all the elements of life. Babies have diapers and need changed, right? There's the little stinky things, the slobbery things, all those things she doesn't shy away from. She's very comfortable with life. That in turn, it doesn't matter how rich somebody is, guess what? Those rich babies need their diapers changed too. Like, life is still, no matter how famous, how rich we are, we're never going to be removed from, what the human existence is. But it's nice to see that she can comfortably, I think she's headed into some lifestyle that I don't know that she ever had access to. It could be one of tremendous wealth based off of this card. And she needed to, the universe has been saying, if you don't love yourself enough to know that you can be in a really happy relationship and not be intimidated or say, I don't belong here, even though I love this person, they walk in this more extravagant world than I do, so there's no way this will work. She might have been the type who would have turned away from a relationship with somebody that she believed was out of her league. And I think that was something that she had to make sure that she worked on her self-love enough so that she would know nobody is out of anybody's league. We can all love whomever we fall in love with. We are all divine creatures. No matter how much money you do or don't have in your bank has nothing to do with your worth or value as a person or who will love you. That was an important message for her, right? Because I think this is hinting that once upon a time, she put herself into a category that she couldn't get out of. That was her journey through self-love. And it's a darn good thing she got there, because this is what she's headed for, even though I don't think she knows it. She could be a Virgo, Capricorn, or Taurus. She could be an Aquarius as well. Ten of Swords. I do think that she has had maybe a difficult life, and maybe that's the other reason it took more time for her to like wrap her head around the fact that she has worth and value, and that, she could have a love story. Anyone would love her. Anybody could fall in love with her, just like she can fall in love with anybody. Seven of Wands. Yeah, there had to be a lot of transformation. I don't think her life was easy. I think she saw a lot of blockages in front of her. I think she's taken a lot of inner work to get over the perception of like where she came from, or what other obstacles she may have had in front of her that she viewed as like, that's why I probably can't be, in this kind of relationship or that kind of relationship, or, I really think she put limitations on herself in the past. Seven of Sacred Circles. It was a long, slow movement forward. Whatever her last negative experience was, because of that Ten of Swords that we saw, that was kind of a turning point that pushed her to go inward a little bit. And that's where she found her real value, her real belief system. It's been slowly but surely she's been realizing, I have a lot of value. I have a lot of worth. She really knows that she is like, she has a place in this world. She belongs in this world, and she is worthy of being loved. That is the biggest breakthrough. But interestingly enough, that is what is now not only bringing in a real love story for her, but she cannot even imagine what kind of love story this is going to be. She does not realize that this was all really necessary for her to get, her head wrapped around this, so that she doesn't push away a really great relationship. We have the card of oneness. I don't know. Who is this person? Can we see who her Four of Wands is? There's somebody that at a soul-based level, they're so connected to her. Wheel of Fortune. I still feel like they could be somebody who's quite famous or quite wealthy, or has a palace, or has maybe more assets than she does. Three of Cups. She may feel like the newcomer in somebody's world who's already quite established in a very wealthy environment, but she's so connected to them that I feel like she's going to be such a blessing in their life She's somebody who speaks truth to them. She is somebody who is like, she's like, I think they're going to see her as like a gift and a turning point in their own life, where finally they have like someone that they can really connect to at a really truthful level. So whomever this person is that is her match, Nine of Pentacles, I feel like they have wanted to meet somebody so real for such a long time, and somebody, you notice how again we see like this very earthy energy. I feel like they want to come home to somebody like her, somebody who's earthy. Maybe they've had very, wealthy, affluent life and been kind of left cold or felt kind of adrift, not really making strong connections. This is like they just want somebody who's for real, who's true, somebody that they can count on and rely on. This is a big turning point for them to finally feel like they have a stable and sound partner, somebody that is their, like their solace, somebody grounded. Inspiration of Cups. I don't know that they will have ever fallen in love with somebody quite like her. I feel like this is the elusive kind of love story that they've always wanted to have, with somebody that they feel they know her, they know who she is, they know what she's all about. They are a King of Wands. They could be a Leo, Sag, or Aries. Very warm-hearted, very much they want to be with her, very much they want to be in a love story with her for all the right reasons. This is somebody who's like, oh my God, I found my home. I found where I belong. It's a darn good thing. She's not going to try pushing this person away. Again, we see like a bit of life of luxury and maybe even, excess. We've got this, leather, couch here, and even purple is a royal color. This is like some purple hat with this, crown and a magic wand. I don't know. I feel like this person may do something that really keeps them either in a state of luxury or royalty. I mean, literally, maybe that's it. Maybe this person is going to actually come from a royal bloodline or something. It's like, this is crazy. I didn't think I'd be, with a public figure. But she's going to be so opposite whatever their arena typically is. She's so grounded. She's so solid. And it's those very qualities that make her the perfect match for this person. So it's a very beautiful love story on the horizon for her. It's just so interesting that all of this began with her needing to be super, super comfortable in who she is, because this love story that's opening up for her is with someone who she otherwise might have said, oh, that couldn't possibly happen. It wouldn't work. I'm not in their world. And there's no such thing as I'm not in their world. Love doesn't have boundaries like that. All right, you guys, I'm going to leave that there. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up.